Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out another Marvel Omnibus, and that is the Thunderbolts Omnibus Volume 1. So without further ado, let's take a look at this book. Here is the front of the book, which I think is an homage to Giant Size X-Men number 1, which I have right in the background so we can kind of compare. But whether it is or not, it is just this kind of awesome team shot of the Thunderbolts. And for you spine lovers like myself, here is the spine of the book. And here is the back of the book, which says Justice Like Lightning and features all of the issues that are collected in here. Alright, so first of all, what does this collect? Well, it collects Thunderbolts 0 through number 33, Thunderbolts Annual 1997, Thunderbolts Distant Rumblings -1, Incredible Hulk number 449, Spider-Man Team Up number 7, Heroes for Hire number 7, Captain America and Citizen V Annual 1998, Avengers number 12, and material from Tales of the Marvel Universe number 1. But what exactly is this omnibus? Because I know personally, I didn't know that much about the Thunderbolts before I read this, and I actually had kind of a misconception that they were kind of like Marvel's Suicide Squad, which isn't a great comparison. But essentially, the Avengers and Fantastic Four are gone after the events of the X-Men event Onslaught, so a lot of heroes are in the dimension where the Heroes Reborn books come from, and this of course leaves a gap in the main Marvel universe, and the Thunderbolts are the one that fills that. And the members of this team are Citizen V, Mach-1, Songbird, Atlas, and Meteorite, who was the standout character for me, and they get some other teammates and whatnot later on, but we'll get into that as we talk about the book a little bit more. I also have to preface that this one is kind of murky to talk about because to talk about it and its concept, I kind of have to give you a little bit of a spoiler. From what I've heard about the book, it was kind of painted as like a big spoiler, but frankly, I don't really think it is, and the spoiler is revealed in the first issue, and that is the foundation for the rest of the series, so it's essentially just the concept that people consider the spoiler because there's kind of a reveal. So I just want to let you know, I don't think it would affect your reading really at all, but if you want to click away, now is your opportunity to click away because I'm going to talk about that spoiler, which is a brief one like I said. So the main hook is that the Thunderbolts are posing as completely new characters, completely new heroes, an entirely unique group, when in reality they are actually a team of supervillains and supervillains from other characters' books, and supervillains who have been around for a while. And so the true team consists of, at least the original team, Citizen V, who is Baron Zemo, and he is the leader, he's the one who put this together, Atlas, who is Goliath, Mach-1, who is Beetle, Moonstone, who is Meteorite, Screaming Mimi, who is Songbird, and Techno, who is the Fixer. So essentially mostly a bunch of D-listers, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be on our radar as people who can cause real catastrophic damage. And Zemo's whole plan is predicated on gaining public trust by pretending to be heroes, and then using that, leveraging it to sort of get clearance codes from the government and whatnot, get access to Avengers files, and use that to sort of just take over the world. Now, there's a lot more that goes on in here, and it gets pretty crazy, actually. It becomes this rabbit hole of just an insane situation that feels like it's just stuck together by bubblegum and toothpicks. But I'm not gonna spoil any of that later stuff that I would actually consider big spoilers for the story, and I'll let you discover those on your own if you pick this up and read it, because you should. It's pretty engaging. And I am just like a huge fan of Kurt Busiek's writing. He just feels incredibly unique when he writes, and he really understands character trajectory and their arcs exceptionally well. And then, as far as the creative team goes, there's also Mark Bagley working on this book, and his artwork has always had a fond spot in my heart, particularly from Ultimate Spider-Man, but it was great to see him drawing some different characters too. It's always refreshing to see his work. But yeah, don't let this book go under your radar. It's actually surprisingly nuanced, and there is an array of themes going on here that are super, super fascinating, while there's kind of this encompassing theme about rehabilitation and the pathway of reformation which can be a struggle for some and maybe not for others, or it can be a struggle in many different ways for some of the characters. And for some, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe rehabilitating is not in their future and it's not in their nature. Something I would really like to commend the book on as well is momentum. This book does such a great job of consistently picking up the pace. For example, for me, it started off as kind of just this baseline superhero or supervillain, however you want to look at it, type story. It was like a cool plot and a cool foundational concept, but like I needed more from it, and they certainly delivered on that. It kept upping the stakes, it kept upping the intenseness of the situations that they found themselves in, and everything just was a left turn after left turn. Like I was not sure where we were going to go after every issue, and we went to places I really did not expect to go, which was really fun and refreshing to read. One of my favorite wrenches that was thrown into the plot is at one point they end up recruiting this character whose name is Jolt, and she is just a good guy. She's this idealistic, optimistic teenager who just wants to be a hero, and they basically have this entire facade going on, and when she gets added to the mix, when she kind of gets forced to join their team, she doesn't know they're all bad guys, so she is the one true believer, you would say, among them, and it really just adds this interesting element, an interesting dynamic to everything that's going on. There are actually a ton of elements to this book that I want to talk about, but I really can't without giving away what I think are the big plot beats that really elevate this title, so I just have to encourage you to read it yourself. I do want to take a moment to talk about that character who I said was the breakout character of the book for me because they were just so fascinating, and that is Karla Sofin, or Sofin, however you pronounce it. She is a sociopath. She's a former psychiatrist who is just an expert at manipulation, an expert at instilling paranoia into people she's dealing with, and she uses these skills to wrangle the Thunderbolts in a really compelling way. I made a joke on Twitter that like she's one of those characters that is so evil that like I'm kind of rooting for her because she's doing it so well. She's clever, she's powerful, she's much more intelligent than the rest of her team, and watching her navigate them and sort of just manipulate them over and over again in new ways was really fun. Any scene that she's in was a great read. But yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up the second volume of this omnibus. I need to know how the story ends. I want to know what happens with these characters in the future even. I'm really connected to them now. They hooked me. So you guys let me know if you've read this story, if you enjoyed it, or if after this review you're planning on picking it up. I would love to hear that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you all have a great rest of your day.